So I'm a recovered people pleaser and perfectionist, okay? And those things are very challenging to get over with. And I still struggle sometimes with the thought in my head of how do I do this right? What's the right way to do this? And I can get so stuck. And for those of you out there who are also struggling with this, these are going to be really powerful for you. Okay. So I just did a podcast. So check it out. I'm still a mom, obviously. When I had young kids, right? My kids are like 9 and 13 now. And when they were younger, I definitely felt like I lost myself to motherhood and all the work and the constant effort. And I was a stay at home mom for a few years. And it was just so mentally and emotionally exhausting. I was constantly exhausted. I was constantly worried about how to do it right, how to meet their needs, how to be a good mom. And it was like this never-ending struggle to get it right. And I didn't have aunts, mothers, grandmas, or whatever to guide me. It was just me figuring all that shit out on my own, which was one of the hardest things I've ever done. And I was thinking after I did the podcast, I felt like motherhood completely erased who I was because I took on that role and I ran with it and it became who I was. I'm a mother now. But where was me in that whole process? And when I think about it, I didn't lose me. I lost who I thought I was, who I needed to be, and how I had to show up every single day to get acceptance and be liked. My dog's trying to chase my outdoor cat. Bella. That's who I lost. I never lost me. I didn't even know me. I didn't find me until later. Hi. It took me a while to and through actually a lot of heartache and pain to find the real me. And it was buried beneath all these layers of programming and conditioning that I had growing up that we all get now through the school systems, through our dysfunctional families, and what authority figures teach us. Hey, do good, get a gold star. We're always showing up in order to fit in and get approval. And this follows us obviously into adults because our childhood is our foundation for our life. And hold on, Bella, are you gonna come sit with me? Huh? I'm from the U.S. There she is. You know what is funny? Every time I try to take pictures of her, just to post them on my community board and stuff, she'll hide her head. She does not like pictures. It's so hilarious. So I thought I lost who I was when I became a mom, but I didn't. I only lost the person I thought I was supposed to be. And I had that dark night of the soul. It was absolutely horrible. And I will be talking about that on my podcast in a few weeks. I just felt literally the old me was crumbling and I was gripping the ground, okay, like on the edge of a cliff. My fingernails were bleeding. And I'm not being dramatic here. It was horrible. And there was this time that literally it was just weeks of just feeling so alone and not knowing who I was anymore as I transitioned into being a mom. And then being a mom and how exhausting that was, just the never ending requirements, things you have to do, need to do, who you need to be now, figuring everything out. If you've never taken care of babies, it can be pretty tough. And it's just this constant doings that you have to do and this new role, right? And if you don't have any guidance, it's really difficult. So I wasn't able to truly find the real me until I went through that dark night of the soul and had that challenge of, okay, well, what is a mom? I don't know what a mom is. I didn't have a mom. Okay. So I had to figure out what a mom is by being a mom myself. And then eventually, okay, I started finding myself beyond the role of a mother. And that took a couple years. And then I thought I found me. Okay. So then in another toxic relationship, did the same thing. What it did was it allowed me to, through the pain of that, the heartbreak of that, the disappointment and all the pain, I was able to unlearn all the stuff from my childhood of who I needed to be, how I needed to show up, being perfect, being a people pleaser, trying to get approval, avoid rejection. That's how we're living our lives, and find the real me beneath all that. And still to this day, I still have it in my head. Well, what's the right way to do this? How should I do this? And it's still crazy. And that's how long it truly takes to, it's not like there's an end in mind, right? Because we think, okay, once I get this, once I get that, that's where happiness is going to be. When I get the job, when I get the relationship, when I get the house, whatever, right? We're taught that it's the destination we should be focused on. We shouldn't be. And this whole process of finding yourself again and living, being, and finding, living, and being your true self, living as who you authentically are every single day, okay? That's a process. That's a journey. There is no destination in there. So even now that I've done like decades of work, right, on myself, I still get tripped up. You're still going to get tripped up no matter how far you've come, right? And there's so many layers to this that once you heal, right, as soon as you step outside your comfort zone, guess what? There's going to be another trigger. There's going to be another thing to do with. So it's ongoing. But the process, you can fall in love with the process and realize this is just me coming home to myself, and really fall in love with who you are, like yourself, support yourself, honor yourself. And the way you live your life isn't about no longer obligation. It's what do I have to do, need to do, should do, ought to do. And instead it's about, well, what feels right to me? So when my brain says that, okay, well, what's the right way to do this? How should I do this? That's that old thinking pattern in my head, thinking that there's some right way. That's the perfectionist part of me that has survived somehow, that keeps me in check, that I got to watch out for, because it's like still lingering behind. A shadow of my former self is trying to pull me back in that way. And it does feel like a pull. So when you start really honoring yourself, trusting yourself, and it's challenging to go from people pleaser, every day I show up as who others want me to be to get accepted and liked and avoid rejection, versus I'm trusting myself, which means you'll start to lose those old relationships, right? You're going to experience judgment and shame and feeling bad, okay? And then you're going to start listening to that inner voice, which I talk about in the podcast, so check it out. And as you start to get in touch with yourself and start listening to that inner voice, then you'll start developing trust with yourself. So it's a challenging process. This is not something that happens overnight. And hold on, let me check out my notes. I feel like I forgot something. That's loud. And you can still feel the pull inside of you, the pull to get acceptance, the pull to be liked, the pull to do it the right way, the pull to fit in. And what we have to do, someone was driving by, I thought they were pulling up. What we have to do is start noticing the pull, but not acting on it. And then choose to do the opposite. Rebel, break the rules. Okay? So a good girl, a good person is all about following the rules and doing what they should do and acting in a way that they know will get them to be accepted and liked and not cause waves. Okay? So when you feel this pull to act in a way that's acceptable, okay? And I'm saying to do the opposite. When you do the opposite and you ignore the pull from your programming and your conditioning, you're getting that much closer to being who you really are, to finding your true self, which I said is a journey, it is a process. And just notice it. You'll feel like, oh my God, I'm doing this thing. And like when I cut my hair, it wasn't always like this. Like this took me years to be able to because it was in the middle of my back, and then just cut it slowly, and I felt more free each time I cut my hair. It was absolutely amazing. So you'll notice the things in your life that you feel you have to do in order to get that acceptance, that approval, being liked. Okay. And when you start to challenge that and actually start acting like a rebel, this is going to help you find who you truly are, who you've been all along, that has been buried beneath all that bullshit you need to unlearn to come home to yourself. Let me check my notes. Let's see. So check out the podcast that's going to give you more details, and you're going to learn a lot. It's called Becoming Badass. I can't talk. It's called Becoming Badass. Check it out in my tabs on YouTube. And it's all about learning to stop living our lives from a sense of obligation and start tuning into yourself and what feels right to you, what feels good to you. What do you know in your heart and your soul is calling you to do? And then you have the courage to act on that. And you ignore, well, what are people going to think? Are they going to like it? Are they going to approve? Do I need to get their permission? Like, no. When you learn how to stop living from obligation, all the musts, the shoulds, the have tos, need tos, ought tos, you are that much closer. I mean, it's a huge step to finally feeling free. But here's the thing. You have to care about how you think about yourself more than what you care about what other people think about you. That was like really, it was in my head. I'm like, how do I word that? And when you can do that, oh my God, you're going to feel so much more free. But then you're going to feel the pull. Okay. Just observe the pull. But we don't have to act on it. We can rebel. And rebelling and breaking the rules, these rules that we've been trained on, how we've grown up and been around authority figures, those rules that you can't speak up, you can't say no, you have to sit still, be quiet, be pretty, don't challenge authority, and just stay quiet, don't make any waves. Those rules, you challenge those rules, and there lies in who you truly are. It's just a beautiful, beautiful place to be. So, and if I can do this work, I know you guys can do it too. To help you truly find and start living your life and being every single day who God created you to be, who you're meant to be. Where literally you feel good every single day, not having to chase after anything or get a certain outcome or certain result. You just feel good being who you are, staying true to yourself, honoring yourself, listening to your needs, and falling in love. Guys, oh my God. I never stutter like this, but it's on camera, right? And falling in love. And falling in love with who you truly are. So, any questions before I go? If you're just coming in, then please watch the beginning. Like, this has been some awesome stuff, guys. Let me get closer and see these comments. Okay. Am I Native American? Yeah, I don't know. Okay. How's your guys' day doing? Let's see. Hey. Well, I hope you guys got a lot of value from this. This has been some awesome Dude, I did it again. It's been some awesome transformative information. Thank you for anyone who's popped in here. Thank you for your comments. And please let me know your thoughts. And I will see you tomorrow, Thursday at 6 p.m.-ish Central. Bye. Oh. So don't forget to check out the podcast and see the stuff below. See the stuff below in the description for more. Have an amazing day. Bye.